Hey guys, welcome back to Refining with Jessie, the life coach. So today we are talking about everything self-sabotage. So self-sabotage is a big one, especially in coaching. There's a lot of people that come into coaching and they have no idea what's holding them back. And when you strip off those layers, layer by layer by layer, it gets down to self-sabotaging programming, subconscious programming that is deep down there that they don't even realize it's causing them harm. And they're seeking for answers. They're like, I have no idea why I do this. I have no idea why this is not working. I have no idea why I can't move forward in my career. I have no idea why I can't find love. I have no idea why I attract these people. I have no idea why this doesn't work and that doesn't work. And when we, like I said, we strip down the layers, it all goes back to self-sabotage. So today we're going to be talking about that because I think a lot of people can benefit from this type of video. So let's talk about what self-sabotage is to begin with. So when we self-sabotage, basically there is some type of subconscious programming that is going on. It's deep down there in our subconscious. It's all about self-preservation. So majority of the time there was a mindset, there was defenses that you had up that help you survive. So usually, surviving mechanisms that help us cope through either some tragedy, through some hurt, through some pain, through some hard times. And we wind up keeping those programs. We wind up tapping into those coping mechanisms whenever we feel anything that's even similar to what we experienced in the past. And because of that, we go into full-blown coping mechanism. We get triggered, and then these defenses come out, and without us even knowing, we self-sabotage. We do things unconsciously to create the resistance in our life, to create the drama in our life, to create the problems in our life, and we don't even realize that we are doing it, right? Because like I said, it's programming. It's something that got programmed within your subconscious mind that's deep down there that sometimes we can't see. So that's why coaching and counseling and therapy is so good for people when they can't figure out what their problem is, or when they can't figure out why they're stagnant in life, and when they can't figure out why they can't stick to a routine, and why they keep on having these repeated habits and patterns. That's when you want to get into coaching and therapy, depending on what your avenue is, because there is a difference between coaching and therapy. But whatever your issue is, it's always a good avenue to go down, because coaches can help you see what you can't see. Another perspective is always good when you're trying to figure out something that you can't figure out. A lot of people who come to coaching, they're looking for answers, trying to figure out what's holding them back. And when we get into coaching, we uncover the layers that it's them holding them back. It's their mindset, it's their programming. So in order to fix anything with self-sabotaging, you have to rewrite your programming. And I might cover that in a different video, but today we are actually going to talk about the ways that people self-sabotage that they are not aware of. One of the biggest and first ways that people self-sabotage is through overthinking. Overthinking scenarios, situations, words, offers, opportunities over and over and over and over and over. And the reason why people do this is because they don't want to make a mistake, right? So something along their history, they made a mistake, right? They probably got involved with someone that hurt them. They probably took the wrong opportunity that did not, bear fruits. They probably got involved with a family member that hurt them in some way. So whatever it is, they try their best to avoid that because they went through a traumatic experience. Something has caused pain, hurt, and uncomfortable feelings within them. And they're like, I never, ever want to feel that again. So what's the solution? The solution is I'm going to think my way through this. I'm going to make sure that this is truly for me. But what happens is that winds up hurting you. Why? Because you take all the time in the world to overthink something over and over and over and over and over to the part that it drives us crazy. And what winds up happening is that we wind up missing opportunities. We wind up missing opportunities that could change our lives. We wind up missing opportunities that could be blessing. So that's a big way that people self-sabotage. The second way is perfectionism. So people want everything to be perfect. So why does that happen? Well, somewhere along the way, they made a mistake that was costly to them, or they had someone who always praised them for having everything perfect, or they get attention from being perfect. There's different reasons and ways that perfectionism kind of manifests itself. But how does that hold you back? Well, because we all know there's never a perfect time for anything, right? We hold ourselves back waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect setting, waiting for that perfect moment. And because of that, a lot of times our life just passes us by. It's just we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And the truth is that sometimes we don't have, all the time on our side. Sometimes we need to take action, right? Sometimes we just need to jump. Sometimes we just need to get our feet wet. And because of the perfectionism, it holds them back. So believe it or not, traditions are the biggest reasons our minds stay closed and we stay stagnant in life. And I mean any kind of traditions. And so what do I mean by traditions? Well, we're talking about customs. We're talking about ideas. We're talking about religious, political, social beliefs of how things should be done. A lot of the times we believe things should be done a certain way, or it's always been done a certain way. So we don't see any other way of doing things. And that is, like I said, the quickest way to keep your mind closed. Why? Because everything in life changes. Everything in life grows, including us as individuals. But if we are growing and times are changing and things are evolving, right? From year to year, from day to day, from hour to hour, and we are not changing the way we operate and we do things, and we're not changing our programming. We talked about programming in the beginning, right? Those beliefs that we have, the ways that we function, the way that we survive things. If we're not changing that, that's not going along, and we're only following traditions and the first way that we learn how to do something, we always stay trapped. Not only that, but when we follow ways that have been taught to us, right? We're only following the ways of the way other people think. So a lot of times with traditions, specifically religious and political traditions that we stick to, there's a certain way that it is written. The problem is that it doesn't take into consideration our human reality, right? So that's why it's so important to be able to think for yourself, be an independent thinker, right? Do what works for you as an individual. Do what works for you as this time that you're living in, and not follow the status quo. Just because someone says that's the way it should be done doesn't mean that that's the way it should be done. It might mean that no one's ever questioned should it be done different, and just because no one's ever questioned should it be done different, we always done it that way. But that doesn't mean that it's the best and it's the correct way to do it. It just means that's the way it's always been done. So always challenge your belief systems, right? Always think about, should it be done this way, or am I doing it because it's the only way that I've ever done it, right? Is it the only way I've ever known? Can I do it a different way? If I tried this, would it work for me? You have to be able to bring in that aspect of discernment. Be able to be discerning of your own life to see what works for you, because if you don't, you are always going to be living for others. You have to be able to really look at things and say, is this really what is good for me? Is this really what I want? And because a lot of people are not able to do that, it's the main way people stay stuck and unhappy in life, because like I said, they're living for others instead of living for themselves. The next one is willful ignorance. So as human beings, we tend to reject knowledge or anything that is not our own, right? If it's not our own ideals, our own beliefs, we tend to reject it because that's not our knowledge. But that is the ultimate way to keep yourself stuck. We did not come into this world with knowledge. We had to obtain it. And the way we obtain it and create our own belief systems is by being able to listen, being able to sit and really think, does this person have a point, right? So that's what keeps a lot of people stuck. They want to stay in an ignorant state because they reject all information or knowledge that is not their own. But truly, in order to choose different choices in life and go different directions, is to be able to be teachable, be able to be open to listening and learning, right? Be able to collect knowledge and then see, for yourself, discern for yourself, after, should I keep it, should I not? What should I drop? what should I continue with? But first you have to be able to be open to it. You have to be able to be, to listen to it, to be teachable. A lot of people get offended when they're corrected, or there's another opinion that objects their own, or we get defensive when people actually prove us wrong. They make logical arguments against what we're saying, and even though we know as human beings, we're like, wow, that really makes sense, and they're just proving my theory, we will still reject it. Why? Because it doesn't agree. It doesn't align with what I believe, right? So that's the ultimate way to keep somebody stuck. You have to know that you're never, ever going to be the most intelligent person in the room. And if you think you are, and you're only surrounding yourself with that type of environment, you're already losing, right? Because you want to surround yourself with people that can enlighten you. And if you're not able to be enlightened by others or learn something from others, and you're keeping yourself shut down from that, all you're doing is hurting yourself and keeping yourself stuck in life. The thing to remember is, in order for us to make different choices, we need to be able to accept different knowledge, right? Because we make our decisions based on the knowledge we had at that moment. But if we know more and know better on how to do something, what we do things differently. We make better choices, right? And those choices are based off of the knowledge, right, that we have obtained. So it's so important to be able to be open-minded and be able to be enlightened by others. It's only going to enhance you. But when you're not willing to do that, you're not willing to listen, and every time someone has an opposing opinion, that turns into an argument, or you get super defensive when someone corrects you, you're only hurting yourself. The next one is accepting less than what we have earned and deserve. And this is a big one. People do not know their value. And when you do not know your value, you're always going to accept less than what you deserve. And this is the thing with this one. This is all about programming. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of the times we were at a space that we were not deserving of what we were asking for, right? I think everybody has been in that predicament, right? But as life goes on, we learn, we grow, we develop as people, we expand, we develop our consciousness, right? We bring in knowledge, so on and so forth. But what happens is that even though we develop as people, our subconscious mind keeps telling us that we are still deserving of less. So what happens when that happens? Well, we take in less. Keep on accepting partnerships, connections, friendships, jobs, groups, activities, items that are less than what we deserve, because we believe in our subconscious mind that we are not worthy of it. We don't believe that we hold that value. And so if you do not know your worth and you do not know your value in life, you're always going to be stuck. And the next and last one is going to be being cynical and being pessimistic. When you are seeing that glass half empty all the time, and things are happening to you in life, and you're not able to navigate through those hardships and look for the lesson, take the lesson out of what is happening to you, you will always stay stuck. And because of that, you self-sabotage. In life, we have to be able to navigate through our issues, and whatever hits us hard, we have to be able to find the lesson. And if we don't find the lesson, we are doomed to repeat it. So that is the ultimate ways that people stay stuck, because you always have to be able to look at everything with a positive mindset and look for the lessons of why certain things are happening. You can gain what you need to gain so you can actually move on to new cycles of life. We're not able to do that. Like I said, we're doomed to repeat history. But not only that, but after we repeat it, we stay stuck in that negative mindset. So guys, these are the main ways that we self-sabotage. So you're going to be very, very, very careful of your mindset and how you are self-sabotaging yourself in life. Especially now, we are moving into a new year. We want to lose and leave behind old mindsets that keep us stuck, that sabotage us, and that are blocking our blessings. So really think about if you are stuck in any of these mindsets. And if you are and you're struggling and you're not sure how to navigate through it, drop it in the comments. Let me know which mindset you're struggling through or you want to learn more about, and I could drop some knowledge and do a video on how to navigate your way through it. So guys, that is all I have for you today. I will see you in my next one, and don't forget to drop a comment. Let me know what you want to learn more about. Maybe it's not one of these mindsets, maybe it's something else that keeps you stuck, that you self-sabotage, and you're recognizing it and you're like, I want to, move forward to a new me in the new year, and I'm not sure how to do it. Well, drop it down below and I'll see how I can enlighten or drop some knowledge or help you navigate towards overcoming that. So I will see you in my next one. Bye.